Hi, America. Thanks for joining me this evening. We got a bunch of paperwork and letters and updates from Joe. It finally arrived at my house. Thank goodness. God is watching out for us. First thing we need to do is pray for softened hearts at this facility, FCI Englewood, where Joe's being held. And we need to pray that God's hand lays protection over Joe. Some of the updates that we got today. Joe has officially lost 40 pounds. He's down to 170 pounds. He's not able to sleep. He doesn't have an appetite. He has not had his PTSD medicine, the proper kind, since July 20th, 2016. In his medical records, it clearly states that he is allergic to any type of beta blocker or steroid. At one point, they gave him a pill and said it's for PTSD. And he later learned it sounds like it was a beta blocker, so he quit taking it and told them to check his medical records. Why would you give someone a beta blocker type medicine if it clearly says they're allergic to that? They have denied his orthopedic boots. He needs that for his back and knees and feet. He wrote up a declaration of facts. His back has been bothering him. He can't sleep. He's had to walk up and down the flights of stairs. Medical is not giving him what he needs to make him better. He has not had a CT scan to this day. In these documents that I have that Joe sent, he is stating that he strongly feels that he has suffered 2 strokes. The first one in Crossroads in Shelby, Montana. The warden there, from our understanding, did have a CT scan and doctor appointment set up. But they moved him to all the other facilities, 5 different places before. So, he never got a CT scan to this day. So Joe needs special reading glasses. He has some double vision going on. And so the medical side of this, you guys, is we have filed everything on our side that we need. And Joe has filled out what he needs to get at what's called a medical furlough. Now, the prison tried to tell him that the medical furlough can only be done if the feds approve it or something, but he also filled out the release forms to the VA hospital, so we should be able to get that medical furlough, but they're telling him something different. So we're going to need some major call to actions to bombard the Bureau of Prisons with phone calls and emails again. He had a bad cold and did not receive any medicine for having a bad cold. He said there's no ventilation in there. There's dust and black hairy stuff. Everyone in there is coughing and sick. One incident that he wanted the public to be aware about, when he passed out in his counselor's office on November 2nd, they took him to medical, but they didn't give him proper treatment at all. When he had the argument after that with his counselor about the legal mail, he got put in the hole. And there was a point where he was in a 3x4 or 4x4 cell, and the guards and the soup guard, I'm guessing a supervisor, were accusing him of faking it. And he was weak, and he says he doesn't remember much from when he was in solitary. And they kicked the door, a metal door, really loud till he jolted and joked and laughed that he was okay because he moved. So he sat in solitary for a week without any medical after just possibly having a stroke or heart attack. We have to say symptoms at this point, but Joe's saying he thinks he's had 2 strokes while being in the custody of the Bureau of Prisons, due to them not giving him his PTSD medicine. Okay, so that's the medical part of this. We need Joe to a hospital or home now. Period. This man is in prison for ponds, for water. Nonviolent crime, trumped up charges, overreaching federal government. We are not anti-government. We need our government within the confines of our Constitution. And federal agencies like this Bureau of Prison treating a 77-year-old Navy vet like this is unacceptable. So we need America to speak up for Joe. Joe sent a letter to his public defender the Friday before Thanksgiving to fire him, have Michael Donahoe withdraw from the case. Joe has a volunteer legal team and Joe wants to go pro se for the rest of the appeal. Mr. Donahoe ignored this letter and went ahead and filed the briefing on the appeal. So we're probably going to bombard Donahoe's office as well, and we're having Joe send what he needs to send to the Ninth Circuit Court to get Donahoe to withdraw, because when myself or Carrie call Donahoe's office and say, hey, you guys need to file for some kind of medical release or medical care or do something for Joe, and they've been ignoring that, unacceptable. But that's what happens when you have a public defender, prosecution, judge, EPA, all paid by the same place, the federal government. So a medical furlough is needed. And his public defender should be helping with that, but he's not. So that's why we need to figure out what we're going to do there to get that to happen quick. Joe has made the statement several times in these letters that he thinks they're trying to kill him. He thinks he might have an accident. So on November 23rd, he had another incident report. So the first incident report was the argument about the box of legal marked mail. And he got put in solitary for a week. Then they got upset about a phone call that he had with Corey Gardner's staff, myself, and his wife. And they took his phone calls, commissary, and computer away for 60 days. He was told for the visitor list being denied for Ollie Smith and myself, Lindsay Smansky, being on his visitor list, he was allowed to do an appeal within 20 days for the visitor list to have it looked at again. So this was direction from an employee at the prison that Joe had the right to appeal his visitor list and maybe see if he could get us approved. They denied him this, and they actually punished him even more. They gave him 90 total days, or 30 more days, so 90 total days and no phone calls and no commissary and no computer. Now, he did clarify with the commissary he can't buy like coffee, but he can get stamps and he can get hygiene products, but that's it for 90 days. So, to me, it's retaliation. He says in here he thinks that they are very upset that we have contacted senators from Montana and Colorado. They are very upset about us being on the radio talking to media. They are very upset about the prayer rallies across the street. But Joe's message to us is keep going and keep doing them. Keep standing. He said that many people in there he has heard when their family goes and visits them, they take pictures and tell their loved one that's in there with them, hey, we saw these people across the street with the flags. They must have been there for Joe. So word's getting back to him that we're standing out there in prayer. So I think we need to really continue doing that once a week or as often as we can. Wave a flag out across the street, follow their rules, follow their process, and show Joe some support because he does hear about it. So I'm going to figure out what phone numbers we need to call, what emails we need to do, and we need to get Joe some major help. I finally did get kind of the legal pack of mail that he was trying to send to my house. Again, we're trying to get rid of the public defender and set Joe up with a volunteer legal team. I think Joe did a really good job. He's got 3 people in there helping him with all this legal paperwork and this declaration of facts, and some of it Joe does want public, so I'll get pictures of those and post them so people can read the statement from Joe himself. That way it's not just always me explaining things. You guys can read from Joe's words what is going on in this federal prison. So he says keep standing. He says keep praying, and he's trying to hold on, you guys, but he did mention something about his memories getting a little bit worse and his vision's getting worse with the double vision. So we need to stand for Joe, you guys. So we'll have a lot of call to actions this week, and we really need like 100 to 500 contacts made every single day to I'm still trying to figure out where we're going to send this, but I'm thinking we need to bombard Michael Donahoe's office, his public defender that should be gone because Joe has officially fired him, so he needs to withdraw from the case. We definitely need to contact the Bureau of Prisons headquarters in D.C., and at this point, with them punishing him for the no phone calls, no commissary, no computer, I think we're going to hit up FCI Englewood, one direct way that we know to do that. So I'll end with a prayer for all of our political prisoners, you guys. Heavenly Father, please protect these men and women. Any political prisoner or any human being in any of these prisons being abused and neglected, please lay your hand over them. Please protect them. Please keep them strong. And please soften the hearts of these employees. What kind of evil treats a 77-year-old man like that? We need to pray for softened hearts. Doesn't matter how it ends, you guys. It matters how you stand. Please check this page every morning for me, and check it at lunchtime, and check it in the evening, and see what the new call to action is. We need hundreds of contacts made based on the paperwork that we got from Joe and some other paperwork that myself and other people are doing. If we have the contacts made, it will work, you guys. We have to have faith. It will work. We'll be able to get Joe on a medical furlough and get him home and get him to his doctor that loves him and will take care of him. Take care, guys. God bless.